Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to tell you how you can go from zero income to $500,000 a year without a degree. And I know this is going to help you become a top listing agent. We're going to start right now. My name is Jackie Kravitz with Sales X Training. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here and you are ready to sell more homes and make more money, start right now by subscribing and clicking the bell next to it so you don't miss our weekly videos. So how do you go from zero income to $500,000 a year as a real estate agent without a degree? Well, this is an interesting take here because, yeah, to sell real estate, you don't need a college degree. You don't need any formal education. If you, I don't know, graduated high school, I think it's the requirement. That's good enough, right? You go to real estate school, you take your real estate exam, and off you go. One of the biggest financial opportunities of your life is that real estate license. So when I was thinking about this video, going from zero income to 500,000, that's what I did personally. But I want to put this into the right context and perspective for you. I got into real estate in 1996, and I was selling real estate in South Florida, in Fort Lauderdale, Broward County. The average price in greater Fort Lauderdale area back in 1996, the average price home I sold was about 160,000, right around there. And so obviously the average price affects the amount of money you can make big time. Today, in that same area, we're talking about 25 years later, the average price is double. We're talking about 300,000 or 350,000 in South Florida. So when I say from zero to 500,000, I'm going to tell you how I did it because you can duplicate this. And that's the idea. I'm sharing with you how I created financial freedom selling real estate so you can do it too. So putting it again in perspective, today, if I was selling real estate today, doing what I did when I started, I'd go from zero to $1 million in income per year without a college degree because I don't have one. And so how can you make that happen? That's the big question. How can you make that happen? There's so many people, so many coaches, so many trainers, so many real estate agents giving you advice in so many different ways. Do it like this, do it like that. Give me your money and I'll give you leads. Pay for this, promote on social media. Obviously, there are many different ways for you to succeed in real estate. What I want to share with you today, what I want to propose you seriously look at it today is how can you make, speaking in today's terms, in South Florida, $1 million a year with your real estate license. And here's what's more important than just making $1 million a year. You are actually, by doing it the way that I did, and I coach hundreds of clients currently, and I have spent the last 15 years coaching and training real estate agents for two of the largest coaching companies out there. So I have a lot of experience in this. It's not just what I did when I got into real estate in 1996. What I did works today exactly the same way because I have clients duplicating the results. What's interesting about this is that, again, it's not just about making $1 million a year once and then the market changes or you decide to move to a different part of the country and now you're back to square one, or the market changes and it's like, well, what I was doing and the leads that I was getting from this source or that source, or It's just not happening, which is, by the way, a very common problem that real estate agents face. The ones that don't develop their business in a way that they can control it. And the way that I did it, it gives you control. You're not a product. Oh, the market changed. Those leads are not available anymore. Or I decided to move and I had a database of people I know, past clients, sphere of influence. It's all gone because now I'm living in a different part of the country and I don't know anybody here. How I built my business and how I teach my clients to do it so they have control, consistent income, consistent for the rest of your real estate career, is through prospecting, but not just prospecting. Prospecting daily, which requires you developing a habit, but also doing it effectively. And there are many things that I can talk to you about in the effectiveness part of this, but also learning how to communicate powerfully when you are prospecting. Because the reality is, if a highly skilled communicator speaks with a prospect today, and some other agent that doesn't have the skills speaks with the same person, obviously the chances of getting an appointment, going out and taking a listing, are much, much greater for the agent that understands how to communicate. Now, please don't misunderstand what I'm saying. As a real estate agent, you have a sales job. And in order for you to help more people sell their homes, not working with buyers, although everything I teach in terms of communication and mindset, which is the core of my entire training, is improving your skills and strengthening your mindset. And that combination is so powerful. It would work for you if you choose to work with buyers. It's just that on this channel, you're not going to hear me talk about that, just because working with buyers takes a lot more time on the agent side. So we talk about listings. But when I say be a great, effective communicator, it doesn't mean that you're pushy and you're twisting people's arm and you're forcing them, or you're doing something that would be looked upon as negative. That's not what this is about. When I talk about being a great communicator and a highly skilled agent, I want you to consider a few things. I've talked about this in another video, and I might have mentioned in a couple of different videos, because it's a core belief that I have that you need to adopt. There are motivated sellers, prospects, people that want to sell their homes, who are motivated to sell in your marketplace every single day. Motivation means they either have to sell or they really want to sell. They're out there every single day. Motivated sellers are looking for an aggressive agent, not pushy. Pushy and aggressive are two completely different things. An aggressive agent. What is an aggressive agent? It's a professional, an expert, someone who has the knowledge and the experience to get their home sold quickly for the most money possible with the least amount of hassle. When I was selling real estate, I developed the belief that hiring me is the best financial decision any seller can make. I believe that in the core of my being. Now, when I got a real estate license, did I believe that? No, I didn't believe that. I had no idea what I was doing. But over time, because of my skills, the knowledge, the experience, I developed that belief, and I know that's true. And I know that any seller who doesn't hire me is making a mistake. And so that, with that in mind, I am an aggressive, when I was selling real estate, I was an aggressive agent, not because I was desperate, needy, because that comes across pushy and repelling and people just want to get away from you. I was aggressive because I wouldn't allow the seller to make the mistake of not working with me, because that would be a mistake. So the communication skills and what you develop to be a great communicator, and the mindset, because this conversation about believing you're the best agent in your marketplace, and if any seller who doesn't list with you is making a mistake, this is a mindset. This is not a skills conversation. This is a belief. It's what's going on in your head. So there's nothing here about taking advantage of people. Being a great salesperson, because real estate is a sales job. I talked about this also, this conversation of relationships, relationships being overrated. And actually, that video created a little bit of controversy because there are so many trainers and coaches talking about building a relationship. Can you build a relationship with a client and they will become a good friend or your best friend? Yes, absolutely. But that is not what motivated sellers are looking for in an agent. They're not looking for a best friend. They're looking for a professional who, again, will get their home sold quickly for the most money possible with the least amount of hassle. And that needs to be who you are. So going from 0 to 500,000 requires you to learn how to sell. And selling is about communicating, being a leader for the people you talk to. Because people in life, they're looking for leaders in every aspect of life. Political leaders, people to follow. Oh, I believe in this. I like what this leader is saying, so I am going to support them. Religious leaders. And they're looking for leaders in every aspect of life, people in general. And as a real estate agent, you need to be a leader. A leader is someone, again, with knowledge, experience, great communication skills. Not so you can get people to do something they don't want to do. A great communicator is able to help the customer, the prospect, the client understand and take action to do what is in their best interest. That's it. That's what great communicators do. That is what I am talking to you about. You being able to have a powerful conversation with these sellers and help them understand how real estate works, how the market works, how price works, how what you do in every aspect of a real estate transaction is gonna be in their best interest to go ahead and hire you. So how you're gonna get from 0 to 500,000, or as I said in the beginning of this video, today we're talking about $1 million a year in income. And be able to do it over and over is by developing your prospecting skills and the habits and the communication skills and the mindset. Again, that gives you control. It doesn't matter what's going on in your market. It could be a buyer's market, a seller's market, or a normal market. It doesn't matter. When you have these skills that I'm referring to, you are able to speak to people on a daily basis, people you don't know. Should you be talking to the people you know? Yeah, absolutely. I'm not opposed to that, but that's not gonna quickly start bringing you income. And it's not gonna, maybe after you've been in real estate for many years, you're able to generate hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars a year in income, but initially it's not going to be like that. It's going to be a process of building those relationships with your past clients and the people you know over time. And these relationships need to be based on trust in you as a professional, okay? Not as their best friend, because you could be their best friend but not be a great real estate agent. And when they're selling their home, they want a professional who knows what they're doing and can get the best results for them. So when you have these prospecting skills, you're not a product of the market. One of the strengths that I have as a real estate agent and as a trainer is being able to convert for sale by owners and expired listings into sales. For me, that's what I did when I was selling real estate, and that's not all I teach. I teach my clients and I train my clients and I share ideas with you here on this channel so that you can become a top listing agent. Now, why should you call for sale by owners and expireds? Because they are the hottest prospects that exist. So if you are going to talk to people you don't know, why would you go talk to random people you don't know and not talk to the hottest prospects where you have the highest probability of setting an appointment and taking a listing? That doesn't make any sense. I'm a very common sense type of person, and I know some agents stay away from FSBOs and expireds because they may not be easy to talk to. Well, you know what? It's not that they're hard, difficult to talk to. It's that you're not skilled enough yet. Because when you have the skills, they're actually easy. Why FSBOs and expireds give you control in any market, meaning market conditions, buyer's market, seller's market, normal market, or anywhere in the country that you choose to live. In a buyer's market, when there's a lot of inventory, you're going to have more expired listings and fewer FSBOs. Does that mean in a buyer's market you have a lot of expireds and zero FSBOs? No! In 1996 it was a buyer's market. So that's when I started. A ton of expireds. There were still a lot of FSBOs, but more expireds than FSBOs. Then in the early 2000s, the market completely changed. It became a very hot seller's market. What happened then? A lot more for sale by owners than expired listings. Does that mean expireds didn't exist? No, they were there. In the early 2000s is when, for several years, I listed 100 for sale by owners a year and 50 expireds. So you see more FSBOs than expireds. Why? Because there were more FSBOs to talk to than there were expireds. But I still listed 50 of them a year for several years in that market. In a buyer's market, it would have been flipped. It would have probably been 100 expireds and 50 FSBOs. So what I want you to understand is these two sources, they have to be a part of the prospecting calls that you make every day, because then if it's a seller's market, great, you got more FSBOs to list than expires. The market changes, you have more expireds than FSBOs. It's a normal market, okay, you have a balance of both. The point is, you don't have to worry about what's going on in the market, because FSBOs and expireds are always going to be a source of business. Here's the other advantage of working these two sources. They're said to be tough to speak with. When you master the conversation, the communication, and the mindset with the toughest prospects, everyone else is easier in comparison. Trust me, when you can handle FSBO and expired objections, close for appointments, and take those listings, price them well, have them sold, you could go through that entire process with anyone, because now you've mastered the toughest ones. everyone else is easier in comparison. You want to pick up and leave and move across the country. There'll be FSBOs and expireds there too. You'll be able to prospect just listed, just sold. You're leaving your database behind, but you could start over just like that in any market, in anywhere in the country. Think about what an incredible opportunity you have with this. And you'll be able to make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. I didn't make $500,000 my first year in real estate. That happened my fourth year. My first year I sold 25 homes. I mean, I had come out of a job in a hotel making $30,000 a year. My first year I made 65, 70,000. I mean, it blew my mind. I'm like, this is the best thing that ever happened to me, because where else am I going to go make this kind of money? I could have worked in hotels for the next 30 years to get to $70,000 a year. My second year, I also sold 25 homes. I was working part-time, nights and weekends only. My third year is when I started working full-time. I sold 45 homes. My fourth year, I closed 100 transactions, all FSBOs and expireds. Where? Like, even speaking about this and thinking about it, it blows my mind that coming out of nowhere with no experience, no sales experience, no college degree, to make $500,000 a year, which today would be $1 million a year just based on the average price in the same exact area. And there are doctors out there, attorneys, and people that have PhDs and have studied their whole entire lives that don't make that kind of money. This is an incredible opportunity, but you have to build your business on a solid foundation, not on a foundation that gives control of your income to outside sources. And this is what prospecting, developing your skills, and strengthening your mindset will do for you. Put your comments on the video. Tell me what you got out of it. Let me know if you have any questions. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our future videos, and I'll see you soon.